Hello there, it's the Greek. We're in the studio with John Paul Keller. He's a jiu-jitsu master. Would you say you're a master at this?
I'm working towards that.
Working
That's
toward
the goal.
that.
That's
And
the
you've got a match coming up on March 1st.
Yes, sir.
It's got a lot of kind of drama hanging on this match of what's going on between you and this guy Ryan that you're going to be fighting Saturday. Let's get the details first. Saturday, March 1st. Where's the match going to be?
So the match will be at Garami Jiu Jitsu in Hope Mills. It's next to Jack Britt High School.
Okay, and what time do you think that match is going to take place?
So the fight card starts at 1 p.m.
And there's a bunch of fights on.
There's quite a few fights. We got some tag team matches going on. We got a couple of straight killers. We got some women's jiu-jitsu going on. We got a fantastic fight card. So if you want to see some good jiu-jitsu with slaps, it's going to be a great time.
All right. So you're fighting this guy, Ryan Pizzagrilli, and there's some stuff going on there between you and Ryan and some of the things that he's done. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
What got you into that? You haven't been into it long, have you?
No, so I've been practicing for about a year. It's my son's who got me into the sport. I watched him train really, really hard for about a year and then compete. And he won a gold and a silver in his first competition, and then he repeated that in his second. And just watching him compete, I asked myself, like, why wasn't I doing that? What excuses did I have for not training, for not at least giving it a go? And so about a year ago, I walked into a gym, and I wasn't even sure. I was dealing with some shoulder issues, some back issues, some other things, military-wise, that had just not left me in the best condition. But I walked in, and my coach, Ken, he just asked. He said, "You signing up or what?" And I just so happened to be thinking about it, so I signed up, started training, and honestly just thought I'd try some competition, and I've enjoyed it so far.
So jiu-jitsu is a martial art?
Yes, it is.
What's the difference between jiu-jitsu and judo or karate, or the ones that most people probably have heard of?
So all those martial arts have their specific styles or things that they emphasize. So like a karate or a taekwondo, that's going to be more striking focused.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to judo is more the tosses and the throws.
Right.
When it comes to jiu-jitsu, that puts the emphasis. You can use, say, a judo throw, but the jiu-jitsu is geared towards ground fighting with submissions. So it's kind of like wrestling with submissions.
Gotcha.
So joint locks, things of that nature.
And you mentioned, so I know you're veteran, retired military. A lot of people, you think jiu-jitsu is good for people coming in at an advanced age?
I think jiu-jitsu is good for anyone. One of the coolest things about jiu-jitsu is I've had to work through certain injuries while practicing. But if you put a gi on, if you have a shoulder problem, you can tuck that on into the gi, right? If you're having problems with your lower body, you can sit down and you can just practice keeping somebody's hands off you. You can just sit there and watch people. You can, there's so many different ways that you can train if you have a limitation, specifically a physical one. It's more or less, for me, it's been the emotional or mental limitations I've had to overcome to continue. I don't know if that makes sense.
Jiu-jitsu has been good for that?
Jiu-jitsu has been fantastic for that. It's helped me in every aspect of my life. It's helped me in my confidence, physical fitness, just being calm during chaos in general. It's one of those things that, I think a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners, doesn't matter how old you are, you're like, man, I wish I would have started when I was younger.
Right.
But the best part about being 40 and starting jiu-jitsu is that I wasn't 41 and started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So.
So let's talk about this match you've got coming up against Ryan Pizzagrilli. March 1st at the gym over there in the Rockfish area down at my Jack Britt High School.
Yes, sir.
You know this guy for a while?
I've known Ryan for over 20 years. we served together in 2003, and we had the pleasure of serving a couple other times after that with each other, and retired around the same time, known him well. We actually started practicing jiu-jitsu around the same time.
So what has he done that's kind of ruffled your feathers? I know you're into beekeeping, and he has attacked your.
So that's the thing is it started out as kind of a joke, and I think he took it a little too far. Just the disrespect to the bees, like I can't tolerate it. I'm in my first year of beekeeping, and I've lost 6 hives this year. It's serious business, and the fact that he's playing on that, and the fact that he's harassing my bees, it's just, I don't know what kind of person does that. That's the question I ask.
So you aim to take revenge here, or is this going to get your bees back, or is this just for you, or what's going to happen here, or is there money going to the bee?
So that's the thing.
The bees.
What I'm asking for is people to come out and watch me punish Ryan.
Right.
Right. Buy tickets. Tickets to the event are $20. The proceeds from my specific fight, use code Save the Bees, will go into our women-owned, minority-owned, veteran-owned, family-owned business, Buzz and Blends, a business we just started with the goal of bringing awareness to the honeybee. So that's what I plan on doing, is to combat that type of ignorance with knowledge, wisdom.
Well, talk about the honeybee a little bit.
Okay.
I've heard people say, and there is some honeybees are in some peril, and this is around the world, that if it weren't for the honeybee, all the humans would starve to death.
Right. So
and I've heard it being that drastic.
I hear all the time people tell me they don't care about the honeybee, and part of me understands why, because of what you see when you see the honeybee. However, 1 in 4 bites that you take today was pollinated by a honeybee. The honeybee isn't native to North America. It was imported here by our founding fathers, but it's that crucial to our pollination. So all that to say that number, 1 in 4, that number's dwindling because our bee population is dwindling. There's a lot of things that they're combating, they're fighting, but for our great-grandchildren, that number might be far less, and we might be in trouble.
Yeah, and people are scared of bees. I guess they're afraid of getting stung, but honeybees, they don't mess with people.
So I really didn't know this before I started beekeeping, but what I thought was a bee my entire life was not a bee at all. It was a wasp.
Right.
So all that to say that honeybees are not aggressive, and they unfortunately get lumped in with some of their other cousins, some other insects, but the honeybee is actually pretty docile. And the thing about a honeybee is if she stings you once, she's gone. So she after they sting once, they die.
Right.
So there's no multiple attacks, there's no killer bees, anything like that. It's just a bee stings you and they die.
So you've kind of you've got the business Buzz and Blends, using all local honey.
Yes, sir. So we actually haven't harvested honey, but our goal is to harvest honey this year.
Uh-huh.
There's some things we want to do with Buzz and Blends. Right now, it's a smoothie and tea shop, but here shortly, what we're looking to do is create a beekeeping experience for those that are curious about the honeybee. Maybe they can go out there and get a look at them. Maybe they're interested in starting their own, their colony. They're having their own hive, but they're not ready for that yet. And we can kind of get that started there for them. So we're really looking to grow Buzz and Blends into a place where you can come get a smoothie and tea, or you can have a bee experience, and anything in between when it comes to the honeybee.
And this guy Ryan has attacked your hive.
He did. So he actually attacked our hive out front, destroyed it, sabotaged our business. And it's a shame that Ryan couldn't make it down here, honestly. So I had invited him down here, but he couldn't be here, so I brought something that's his likeness here. And, maybe next time he'll actually come down here, but since he can't be here, he can, what's going on with you and the bees, Ryan? I don't know. He doesn't have an answer for us.
Yes. So when you guys you said this is jiu-jitsu with slaps.
With slaps, yes.
So this means, that means exactly what it sounds like.
People
People are going to get tagged.
It's going to be fantastic. Garami Jiu Jitsu's built a pit for this thing, so it's a whole different level of movement and interaction because the action's right on top of you.
All right.
So it should be a good show.
So it's you and Ryan and a whole bunch of other fights, and you aiming to teach Ryan a lesson, I guess.
For sure. This is going to sting, Ryan. This is going to sting.
It's going to sting. There you go. It's March 1st. Tell everybody where it's at again.
So it's Garami Jiu Jitsu. So March 1st, Garami Jiu Jitsu.
Close to Jack Brett High School.
5519 Waldo Beach Road.
Yep, that's right off of Rockfish Road. Easy to get to. You can get out there and check these fights out. What time does the whole card start that day?
The whole card starts that day. And this is the first of many. So this kind of series is continuing on. In 2 weeks, they're gearing up for another tournament.
What time does the card start that day?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on Saturday, March 1st at Garami Jiu Jitsu out there just off of Rockfish Road on Waldo's Beach Road. And you can see a bunch of fights out there, but you'll definitely want to see John Paul Keller and Ryan Pitts and Greeley duke it out.
Use code Save the Bees. Use code Save the Bees.
So Save the Bees, and that way your donation will go to the Bees that day. All the fighters have
their individual codes. So if you're interested, you can look up Garami Grappling on Instagram. They have all the cards listed there. You can also go to x7wd.com. There's information about the fight on there as well.
That's cool, man.